What is up, Honey Badger Nation? Man, welcome. I'm John Kitchens, and this is episode 89 of Expert Mentors Live. Super excited for today's episode. We've got the man from Columbus, OH.
IO.
Representing Mr. Ruehle. And
yes, sir.
Man, we're going to talk, leverage your business, really leveraging it to grow from your clients to your business partners. The Q&A is open, chat's open, we're live on Facebook. You guys got comments, anything you guys have, context, questions, clarity that you want from Ryan, and we'll answer it for you. Brother, what's up, man? Say hello to the Honey Badger Nation.
Hello, Honey Badgers. Excited to be here. As always, Mr. John Kitchens. Yeah, man, just want to bring some value and excited to be on with you today for sure.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you making the time. I know you guys had to step away from the range there at Top Golf, and
yes.
And I know you got the partner in crime there with you. Yeah.
That's right. Good stuff.
Love it, man. So for those honey badgers that don't know, I mean, share a little bit of your background, a little bit of your story, and then we definitely dive into today's topic.
Yeah. I guess my story, starts, I came to Columbus to go to OSU. When I got to Ohio State, didn't know what I wanted to do. Started getting into just investing. Really, it was if you remember those days when anybody could get a loan, well, I was one of those guys getting loans. So I was buying investment properties and doing real well, and really started building a little portfolio, buying duplexes, doing different stuff, and really knew that I loved the real estate game and the industry, and started looking at the sales side and doing it as a career from there. So out of Ohio State, it was probably a couple years out of OSU back in 2002. I got licensed, started everything just, kind of the wrong way, and struggling, just trying to figure out, how to do this thing and do it at a high level. My original goal was just to kind of take the money that I was making from a job and replace it with real estate and be able to do real estate full time. And then my story kind of always been, I think kind of how I found you, Al, all these people. I've always been real big into education and a seeker of doing things a different way and a better way. So, a few years down the line, met Mr. Jay Kinder, and I think it was about that time that he was starting up his coaching, and really from there just dove in 2 feet and started building my team. Really started building my team probably about 2009, 2010 to now. We're at we just hit 21 agents. We're on pace this year. We're looking to do probably about 310 transactions. So it's been a fun ride, and it's something without you guys, Jay, Mike, all of you guys that wouldn't have happened. So very blessed to have met you guys and be on here and give whatever I've learned back. We've done things a little bit different with the way our team is structured and the way that we've built it here in Columbus. So that's what I'm here to chat about and share some knowledge.
Yeah, I love it, man. And yeah, you guys really have, for you on the production side, like, I mean, you're out of production for the most part, and have been, right, for quite some time.
Yeah, I would say probably the last 3 years I've groomed John, an agent on my team, to really take over kind of that operations side and do some other things. And I've moved into a different role. And it's been about 3 years that I've been out of production. Yeah,
and you did mention, you guys have done things a little different, and you've really, the one thing that, and we dive right into today's topic, one thing that's always really stood out with you and in your business is, man, you're not afraid to leverage people in a hurry, right? And really build your business, build your businesses, right? The other things that you've got going on, through people, and really investing and pouring into people, be it call center, be it the boxing gyms, be it whatever it is that you've got your hands in and whatever you've got going on, and really focusing in on building, those relationships. And so I know we want to kind of transition and talk, the leverage on the real estate side of things, but if there's anything else, any other context, business is business. So if there's any business related, things that kind of resonate that you've borrowed, that you've applied into the real estate, don't be afraid to share.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I've, always an entrepreneur at heart. I had a tan salon at one point, the boxing gym, and just learning how systems and people and just leverage in general, what they can do, for your business and how it can help you scale and grow and do all of those things. And I knew, it's always kind of, sets things up today for the way you want them to be in the future, kind of, as you guys always taught, live by design. And I always knew at some point I didn't want to be, showing homes when I was 50 years old. I didn't want to be, that wasn't my goal. My goal was really to do the training side and the recruiting, and really I love the building of the business. But as far as, actually wanting to, I love real estate, but to sell homes till I'm 60 years old, that wasn't my goal.
Right.
So I knew that if I wanted to scale this and make it a true system, a true business, to where Ryan didn't, it wasn't about Ryan. It was really about, the plug and play of how we built the team, and the support of our affiliates and, our admin staff and all of that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So let's transition right there, and let's talk about those affiliates, and really how you've been able to grow your business and leverage the affiliates, those that are, I always like to say, those that are getting a bite of the apple that you're providing when it comes to real estate transaction.
Yeah. So when I first got in the game, and I'm sure, you remember way back when, it was, you would go to the office and everybody would just ask for your business, right? Whether it was title, whether it was lenders, whomever, they would just come in, and it was kind of take, and it wasn't really a give and take kind of relationship. I can remember being, one of my first offices, and the lender, she'd be like, well, Ryan, you sold, X amount of homes and I didn't get any of them. And I'm like, well, you haven't really helped me at all and done anything. So, it was just, I felt a really broken model of how the affiliates and things worked. When you think about it, the real estate agents, we spend a ton of money, right, on lead generation, on converting leads, on training, recruiting, all of these things that we're doing, and then we just hand our leads over to our affiliates. So I knew that if I was able to build this team to where we had a ton of transactions, that would bring a lot of leverage, right? If you're sending some, whether it's your lender, title company, home inspector, whoever it is, if you're sending them 2 deals a month or you're sending them 10 to 15 deals a month, it makes a huge difference. So I knew that if I could build the culture and build my team, that I would be able to set up these relationships with the affiliates to really make it beneficial for both. And I really look at it as investing on both sides, right? Like I want to have a long-term relationship with my affiliates, and I really want it to be something where we're both, helping each other grow, and we have an invested interest in that.
Sure. So talk about that. How did that start out? Like, what was the first relationship that you really started to nurture and develop, and how did that start to transition into, being able to monetize that relationship?
Yeah. The first good one was my lender that I was using. We were doing a decent book of business with them. And I was growing the team, and I was starting to try to figure out, as you remember the days of trying to figure out the ISA and the call center model and all of these things. And so I went to their office one day, and they were already doing some of these things. So I really thought, well, if we could really partner up and really grow it together, what could we do? So that was my first relationship and my first conversation of really, let's take some of these systems and tools and let's really combine them. So we started looking at, different lead sources, that we jointly went into. The call center, we would both go over, different systems and tools and technology for it, and really just making, the process more seamless, for the end client. But it was, being able to have the culture first of having the agents understand what your affiliates are doing and how they're helping you grow. And then really picking the right affiliates. I would say that was huge. But the lender part it's still the same lender partner that I have now. Al's met him here in Columbus, and it's really been not just a business relationship, but a personal relationship that's grown. And, we kind of took that and we modeled that with our title company, with our home warranty, home inspector, all of those things that you really think go into a transaction, and really the value that you can create on both sides is really huge.
Yeah, that is huge. So for you, it started with the lender. And I think for a lot of folks,
Yeah.
When they go down this path, that's usually the easiest one to get into, because you are providing a ton of value. So there's a way to monetize that. So you had a unique situation. They had the kind of the call center already going. Now let's talk about that relationship a little bit. Give some context for everybody listening in. Did you guys form a separate entity? Did you just leverage them? Did you guys have anything formal in writing, or how was the structure set up?
We did set up an MSA. So we did set that up, and kind of going forward, a lot of how we're set up now is just, the joint spend of leads. So they invest a lot into my business for the leads, to where we're both, getting access to that and able to, sometimes they use the lender, not the agent. Sometimes they use the agent, not the lender. But we do a good job, and so do they, of piggybacking back and forth to really let the client know that if you're using, that's always been my thing is, we pick our client or our affiliates, I tell anyone, it's not, something that we just throwing spaghetti at the wall. We're picking them because, they're phenomenal. They're here local. If there's an issue, we can get it fixed very quickly. So there's a ton of value to the client also. But yeah, for us, it was first an MSA, was sharing in resources. And then, it's grown now to, part of our Boomtown, our Google, and our Zillow campaign that they help with.
Gotcha. So you take those dollars and allocate it directly to those platforms, or do you guys jointly invest into them?
They go directly, just so there's no RESPA, issues. They go directly to the platforms. Yep.
What was some of your, criteria that filter that you ran through in approaching and setting up these relationships? Like, was there some, criteria, decision-making filters that you use to vet out? Obviously they've got to be able to get the job done. I mean, that's right. That's just basic, but what were some of the other criteria that you ran these relationships through?
I think the biggest thing for us is that, I really wanted, whether it was my lender, who at the time was the first one we were dealing with, that they were, that they had the same vision, kind of that we did, that we were a good fit, just, a good culture fit. We both had, a similar, just kind of mindset, was big for me. And they were really looking to go big and to do some cool things here in Columbus, as were we. So, those were kind of some of my big things is, right now, especially a team of my size, one LO can't really, handle 20 some agents. So, they kind of have a dedicated team of 8 LOs that are in the office that can handle. So if one person might be, there's always the issues in the beginning of, if so-and-so's on vacation or, they're out at lunch or, I got to wait. So we have a dedicated team so the agents can call in and get, anybody can pull a file and know. So for me, it was having those types of things. It wasn't just money, and it wasn't just, what everyone's, we're going to give you good service. That's expected, right? If I sent you a referral, you sent me a referral, you expect that. If I said, well, John, I'm going to do a good job. Well, yeah, you better do a good job.
Better. It's just table stake, right?
Yeah. So I get it. Even now I get a lot of affiliates that come in and try to, get our business, which is, good, but they're like, well, we're going to give you the best service. And I'm like, well, that's an expectation. That's not really something that's going to get my business. So for me, is that you're going to be able to grow the same way that we are, and that you are going to invest. I mean, our lenders invested, tens of thousands of dollars into my business.
Yeah, that's it's fantastic. And
Yeah.
I think, one of the key lessons there, just one lender, right? You've gone all in with that one lender. Has that been pretty consistent with all the other relationships?
Yeah. I think if you bring in the beginning, I had a couple, and we have added lenders. We're looking at bringing on one more so now that we've been using. That's been a great guy for us. He can do some stuff that that our main home side can't really get done. So, but I really feel that if you build that relationship, especially with your team, and built a culture, that's going to be the best moving forward. When you're bringing in, 2 or 3 different, whether it's title, lender, whomever, when you're bringing in a bunch, I think it's hard to really get that value and really try to build it the right way. With us, it's really I'm open with the agents about what our affiliates are doing, for them, how they're helping us build, how they're helping, really their business, right? So, they come to our call nights, they're part of our events. A lot of stuff that we do as a team, they're there. So the team sees that, the team really appreciates it. And then it really starts building that rapport with, like some of my team has certain LOs in that group that they like a little better, which is fine. But it really just, makes it a one-stop shop. It makes it real easy for us to be able to do business.
Is there any other key communication factors, anything that you're doing to help get those team members to continue to buy in and believe in those relationships?
Yeah, like I said, you have to be really transparent with what, with what's happening and what's going on, and, how all of it works, so that they understand that the reason that we have some of the things that we have, and the reason that I was able to scale and get our business moving, quickly, especially with some of our lead sources, was our affiliates. So I'm very transparent that the agents are aware of that. And then, like I said, from happy hours to call nights, to just all those different events that help build that rapport, so that the agents are around them and really, have those really, really we have great relationships, from whether it's our Christmas parties or, whatever it is, our affiliates and vendors are a huge part of it. Yeah,
no, it's fantastic. So let's give a little, some pointers for everybody listening in. Obviously the lender is usually the relationship to establish first, to be able to monetize, but give some pointers here, for those looking to reach out and establish those relationships. I know you said, try to make it a win-win for everybody. But I heard Jesse Itzler share something the other day that just kind of changed my whole thinking on it, and make it a can't lose situation, right? So when you're approaching that relationship, how do you go in making it not just a win-win, but a can't lose situation for that particular relationship, that partnership?
Yeah, I think it's, like I said, first it's finding, the right person. It's always going to the captain of the ship and making sure that individual, that you really understand where he's steering things and where they're going with their business, right? So that it's really going to, to be a good fit for your team, or, if it's an individual agent, whatever that is. I think it's really important to start there, and then to really just, like I said, for me, it was going all in. So, you're going to have, and where I was able to, again, do things that were a little bit different is I did, build, and was really working on building that team, so we got to where, we're 10, 15, 20 transactions a month, to where I can really move, a lot of business to different affiliates that we really wanted to work with. So for us, it was, hey, we're looking, our goal is to get to 40 transactions a month and to really do that. So to make sure that, first of all, that those views are the same, and then really, find that company that's going to grow and invest. And like I said, for me, it was, not picking 3 or 4. It was really picking one and saying, hey, we're going to build this relationship together and really have a vested interest in each other's business.
I love that. I mean, it's hard to have 2 wives, right? You're better off going all in.
It is tough. Yeah.
So
I mean, we tried it in the beginning. I tried it a little bit with, whether it was home inspector. So, obviously your lender, usually your title, are going to be some of your big ones. And then, your home inspector, home warranty company is a great one, to build a good relationship.
Sure.
We have a great one. And then, it really helps us again too with the client that if there is issues, I can get those handled real quickly because we do have so much leverage, with them.
I'm with you on the one, the one going deep with the one. I am kind of cool with the other lender. And the only reason is that they have products that your main lender may not, right? They can do different things. So that's a little okay. The question I'm kind of curious that I know will be a really, really great context for everybody. When you're building these relationships, when and how do you have the conversation about monetization?
That's a really good question. So I think it was, again, I started out, it was me and then, a few agents. So we started out, obviously small, and I was very clear on what my goal of the team was and where we wanted to get to. So it was really, let's grow together. So obviously it wasn't, day one, hey, let's invest 10 grand into lead gen sources. It really started out with, a much smaller and a little more simple, route. And then it's scaled, from there to where, yearly and even with my lender, really it's quarterly, we're looking at numbers together. So you got to have a good relationship with them to where you're sitting down and it is a true win-win, right? So, you don't want to be, taking, those affiliate dollars or whatever, and you're not, providing that business back or having the support back to their business. So I think it starts with, hey, let's have a true, just look at where we're at right now, and then just keep revisiting it. Like I said, with my lender, we revisit it quarterly.
Gotcha. So you're looking at that. And so say somebody's shifting in, it's like, man, how do I get our title company to get on board and want to contribute into the growth of our company? How do you set that up to where, and have that conversation? Do you build some goodwill, some good value in the relationship, doing deals with them? At what point, do you approach, hey, I would love to, give all my business to you? Like, how does that conversation unfold? And like, really, what's the ask?
Yeah, I think for me it would be like, if it was with you, John, it would be first, obviously we have a great relationship. You're doing a great service for us. I really want to take a relationship deeper. And I really want to see a long-term investment on both sides of the business. And I think, it starts out with some give, right? Before you take, let me, with all of my people, let me give you it didn't start out with, let me get money from you. Right? It did start out with, let me show you, where our team's at, what we can provide, what we can do. So, from there, it kind of changed a little bit, but it definitely
Tell Al to quit yelling at everybody. Tell Al to quit yelling at those affiliate partners.
That's right. We are at one right now.
Yeah. No, I think that's there. How do you kind of evaluate and maybe you even put it on their plate, right? Do you even ask them what's the relationship worth, right? What would they be willing to contribute? Or do you throw a dollar amount out at them?
No, I think it's an open conversation. Like I said, I think it's definitely something where you kind of start with what makes sense because it needs to be a win-win, right? Because if if I'm not meeting you at a certain place, then, there's going to be pushback at some point to where we aren't going, really deep into the relationship. And, the worst thing is to build it up and then a year or two, into it. Like I said, my lender, I've had them now for, oh Lord, it's probably been 7 or 8 years that I've been partnered up with them. My title company, probably about 6 years. So the really long-term things that I'm looking to do. And like I said, we always look on both sides, to reevaluate the relationship and make sure that, that everybody's getting their needs met and it's a win-win.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Identifying, was there any particular order that you kind of went after these people, or was it just building the team and kind of going all in at kind of almost at the same time?
100%. Yeah. It started with, you had to create the leverage. So that's where, the team and that's what I think is so powerful, with the team model, just in general, is that you're able to have so much leverage, just by bringing a bunch of great people. If you have the right culture, bringing them together and being able to produce, a lot of business and do a lot of things, right? So from there, after we were able to create some of those things, then it was much easier to say, hey, we're top 10 in the marketplace. We're these types of things where, we're somebody that you want to. So now it's I get calls, every week of people wanting to partner with us to where, we have our relationships, but, people reach out to me weekly, wanting to, do different things, partner up and become another affiliate. Everybody wants to be number 2 or number 3. And I think that just clouds away from, the true relationship. Like I said, a lender, like you said, is a little bit different because, there are some products out there that
some limitations. Yeah,
that not everyone has. So definitely.
Yeah, diving in there. What, did you guys have a base? What else do you do, or is there anything else that you do with these relationships with these business owners besides give them deals? I know you kind of mentioned with your lender, you get together, you guys kind of review the numbers. Is that pretty well consistent across the board? Like, are you diving in on what their goals are and how you can help them other than just feed them deals? Like, what else are you doing to help grow these, to grow your business with them?
Yeah, I think it's, it's having those communications of where are they going, different events, and also just in the community, right? If there's other agents that I can introduce them to, things like that, that's huge, whether it's your title, it's not just my team. I definitely, if there's, other opportunities or agents or teams that I can introduce them to, I would love to do that. So, that's something that brings a ton of value to them also. But yeah, it's the events, really any time that we're doing something, John, I really, the affiliates are, in the mindset of how are they going to partner up with us on this?
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And I honestly think by sharing your growth goals and what you're wanting to accomplish, do you see that, you also have, some advocates in the trenches for you, possibly helping you guys try to recruit, bring other agents on board?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the affiliates will help with that also. They're always, because at the end of the day, they're out there talking to a lot of agents, and agents might say stuff to them about being unhappy or this or that they won't, maybe say directly to me. So yeah, we get, a lot of recruits, or the opportunity for that through the affiliates also, because you gotta know, like, when you're partnering up with the best, which I feel that we've done, they're also out there, talking to other agents. They're in the community, and even as big as I used to think Columbus is, it's really a pretty tight little, a group of, as you know, the cream always rises to the top. So the best players always hang around the best players. And we've noticed that a lot, not just with the real estate side, but with, whether it's, whether it is a lending event that's going on or, whether it's title or home warranty or whatever it is, we get a lot of great value back from them.
No, I love that. one of the hard things that a lot of business books don't talk about, a lot of people don't talk about is the right way to end a relationship, whether you're letting a team member go or an employee go. Have you had to, let a particular vendor go, and how did you go about doing that?
It's funny, John, I can say that I haven't yet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the relationships, when we really started building these things, the way of really saying, hey, let's help, let's not look at it as you're giving me something or I'm just giving you something. Let's really look at how can we help grow each other's business, understand each other's business. I've had the same people.
So it's just really pouring into them and helping them grow. So you felt like you did a really good job vetting them out early on before you really went all in with them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm super happy. Like I said, it starts, again, it's those personality fit, it's kind of things that, as business, owners and leaders that, you find those like-minded individuals, which I think, I did a good job of kind of finding the people that just were a great fit for us.
Do you have any structure to the communication? Are you connecting with them? I know you sit down with the lender, once a quarter, but is it like, hey, we meet up every week, we meet up every month? Is there like a structure to that? Is there a meeting rhythm, anything like that you're connecting with them?
Now, our lender, just because of the relationship we do have, I meet with and speak to them more often. Title, once a year, home warranties once a year, home inspector. So yeah, those types of things are a little less frequent. And I just have a really, great relationship with the CEO of our partner lender. And I really enjoy just, the business side of seeing where he's taking his business and where he's going. And he helps me out a lot too with different stuff that I might be having issues with on growth.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, what's up, David? So we got a question. Having more than one lender or one specific vendor in the same field. So yeah, David might have missed that. I know you're looking at another lender, right? Like what we were talking about, just because they can do a little bit that your longtime lender relationship can't, right? They just have different products that they're able to help clients in situations. Are there any other vendors that, you have a relationship that's monetized, right? I think that's the key. That's monetized, that's multiple, like multiple home warranty, multiple insurance, multiple home inspection. Or
I don't know.
Just the one. So yeah, David on late. If you wouldn't mind just kind of speaking to that again, I think it's really important for everybody to understand, just because we've seen over the year, and just like, try to get multiple from everybody. You got all this money, you're trying to get as much money coming in. And I don't think that's the answer.
It's not the answer. And I could have done it. I think I could have done it very easily of having, probably still could get 4 or 5 different lenders. And the problem you're going to have is really having the true relationship and the culture and everything with your affiliate and with your team, right? So if you're bringing in a different lender each week or different events, and I think it's a sloppy way of doing it. Like I said, to go back on our point earlier, even with our second lender that we brought on, it was really, we had some deals and stuff that he was getting done that he just had some different investors that, our other lender couldn't do. So then this year he's like, hey, I want to be a bigger part of the team, Ryan. What can I do? And I said, here's the way that we operate. If you'd like to be more involved in, X, Y, Z. And then we sat down and we worked out a plan that, worked for both of us. But I do require, that everybody just has skin in the game with us.
That's fantastic. Did you have that conversation with your longtime lender? Said, hey, I'm not cheating on you, but hey, we're looking at having this other option here that you're not able to do.
Yeah. Like I said, it's still, and again, it comes down to being very clear and very transparent. So my team knows exactly, who's who and what's what, and the way that we're operating. And the reason, the reason that we're able to have all the tools and the things that we have is that we do have all of these, different companies that have invested in us.
How do you handle your team, right? You got a little bit larger size of a team, and possibly as as we all continue to grow and bringing different agents at different levels, maybe they bring a relationship into the organization with them. How do you approach that and get your team to use your entire external team that you've aligned with? How do you get them to get on board to really give them that opportunity?
It's from day one, it's got to be, it's like you would do with anything, bringing an agent on. So they got to be a culture fit, right? So they have to truly be a team player. So, and when you find team players that understand that, we're not doing anything for any other reason than it's what's best for, not just the agents, not just the affiliates, but the clients at the end of the day. I mean, that's who we want to be the true winner, right? It's the client. So that's what we've really tried to build. So it's really, hey, John, do you like those Zillow leads? Do you like, they're like, well, yeah, Brian, I love these. Okay, well, the reason that we're able to have some of these tools and some of this technology is because of our affiliate partners. So we need to really, have those relationships with them. And if there's issues, what makes it nice is when you build a culture, then if there is issues or things like that, it's easy to address those quickly.
Right. Absolutely. 100%. And then I'm sure, like you had mentioned, as involved in the events and the collisions with your team, it sounds like it's also on those affiliate relations for them to invest in the relationship and the new people as well. Right. Really get to know them and
when someone comes on the team, we're taking them around, obviously, to their business and having them meet, certain people and really having them understand from day one what the relationship is.
Yeah. And you had mentioned something, you mentioned a few times, right? Really providing that overall experience for the external client, which is the buyer and the seller, investor, those that are doing that transaction with us. So how do you get them bought into utilizing your preferred partners?
The agents or the client?
The clients.
It's value. I think it just starts with value and having them, understand why we're using the people that we're using and some different stories and stuff. Sometimes, like our lender. So we had a client who needed to close, as they all do, on a certain date, certain time. And the investor was asking for something and it was gonna go from a Friday to a Monday. Well, our lender actually took their own money, funded the deal to get it done, knowing that they could, sell it off later. But just stuff like that there's no way without the relationship that I have that I could have got that done. So it's really things like that, letting the client know, hey, if there is an issue, like my home warranty guy, if you have any issues, it's not a situation where, they're going to deny you or, you did not answer your call or anything like that. I have someone that I can call directly, local. And that's the thing too. All of my people obviously are local. They come to my office, I go to their office. So those types of relationships, I think, is what's really huge. And having the client understand that it's not just a relationship till you close, right? You might want to refinance this loan. You might have a home warranty issue. You might, need something with title or whatever it is. So relationships need to go past, the closing date. And that's what we tell them.
That's awesome, man. You're speaking my language, right? The lifetime value and really managing the overall experience when you deepen those relationships for sure. So no, that's fantastic. And in most of the clients, they don't even know any better, right? You just, you're doing that, right. You're providing this for them. So usually that doesn't become an issue at all. So no, that's fantastic. And I think too, in the co-oping experience as well, right? Within the realtor community, doing deals with you, right? They get excited about doing deals with your organization because they know that you can get things done.
100%. Yep. No, you're totally, on point. Cause I know, where, you know, we've done deals where they see our name on the contract, and they know, you know, that we're not working with people that, you know, aren't going to be able to get it done, that our affiliates are, you know, top-notch individuals, companies. So yeah, it makes a huge difference when you, like I said, when you build it, you know, from the ground up, and you build it correctly with, you know, the right culture, the right team, and then the relationships, right? It's building that rapport and that trust. Whether it's, you know, the agent's trust in me, the client's trusting the agent, you know, that process is there throughout, you know, the whole transaction. And that's what's so important. When the client truly trusts the agent, they're not that they do whatever we say, but when you truly have that trust, there's little pushback, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great point that a lot of agents across the country miss, right? And they miss that, you know, when you write an offer, man, they should get excited they got an offer coming from your organization, or they're excited to go show your listings, not because of you, but the ease of working with you and the entire team, right? that you've assembled for your business. And I think that's the way that you guys, we have to look at it, right? Is that the lender is part of your team, right? How to work is part of your team. Who your home warranty representative, who your home warranty company is part of your team. Insurance, home inspection, you know, pest, you know, termite, carpet cleaning, right? The list can go on, right? Fence, you know, landscape, you know, there's, you know, I think we've got a list somewhere. I think there's like 82 different professions that we've identified that get a bite of the real estate transaction apple. And so you guys have to think bigger, right? Think beyond and really nurturing and build that team. And so, man, that's awesome to hear that you've have had these relationships for probably going on a decade now, right? 10, 12, 15 years. That's
a long time.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's awesome, man. Anything that you would like really, really stress for everybody listening in that's like, man, I know I've got to do this. I've got to build the team, or maybe I have been really utilizing and building my team, but I'm not monetizing it in any way. Like, what would you say to those people, you know, starting out building the team, and then, you know, man, I need to leverage this team to help me grow my business?
Yeah, I think it's starting with the team, and it's starting with the culture of the team of, you know, our team understands that, you know, when you come on the team, like you said, say you had past relationships with a lender, or, you know, I don't tell anyone you can't use anyone, obviously, but they understand that, you know, our affiliates we do use for a reason, and because of that leverage point. If, you know, and I use those stories about my lender has table funded themselves deals to get things done. My home warranty guy is, you know, basically had to go up the line to get things approved that kept getting denied. So, you know, really having them understand, you know, why we're doing it, I think is so important. You know, a team is only, you know, the leverage is, you know, in the team, right? So if everyone is using, you know, their own lender, and, you know, to me, it's not a true way of doing it. And then when you do have that leverage of everyone's understanding of, okay, we're going to use the same affiliates. Now we have a lot of power and going after those relationships and monetizing those. And I would say the biggest downfall is don't go after it just for money. Go after it for growth, and go after it for, you know, long-term, you know, just, you know, basically, like, my thing is it's having skin in the game, and it's investing in my business. It doesn't have to be, you know, a ton of money. It has to make sense for both sides, right? But yes, I do want you to invest in my business as an affiliate. So I think it's starting there. It's starting with building your team the correct way, having them all understand that here's the way that we play the game. You know, if you're on the Columbus House team, you don't just pick whatever title company you want. You don't just pick, you know, that's just not the way we do business.
Right. No, it's a lot of great nuggets and a lot of great points. And hopefully everybody's listening again. You know, the one thing that, you know, I'm hearing, and hopefully you guys listening in are hearing, is that Ryan runs his organization like a business. He is a true CEO of his organization. And as the CEO of his organization, your job is to build the team, period. And so your job is to become a leader, build the team, provide the resources for your team to thrive. And there's a lot of great nuggets that Ryan's been able to share with you guys. Hopefully you got, your notepads full, but if these guys have, listening in and have, want to dive a little bit deeper with you and maybe pick your brain a little bit more, what's the best way for everybody to connect with you?
Always Ryan at ColumbusHouseTeam.com. My email. We got onebigfireohio.com. So
nice.
Anybody on there, and yeah. You can hop on.
Honey badges.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up?
So yeah, those are the two best ways. I'd love to, like I said, I mean, and John, just, what you've been, as a part of my life and what you've given back is just, amazing. So yeah, anything that I can do, you guys have helped my business get to where it's at. And, like I said, I've always been a lifelong student, and you guys are great teachers.
So cool, man. Definitely appreciate you as always, taking the time, jumping out from your honey badger activities, swinging the golf club, and
yeah.
I know. I gotta keep a cool spot.
I gotta keep this guy in line.
That's right. Good luck.
Yeah.
But no, man, I appreciate you adding value, being a true expert mentor for all of these badass honey badgers, and so cool, man. You guys take advantage of Ryan Connect. When he dropped was absolute gold. Your job as you guys are growing your organization is to build the team, and Ryan's done a fantastic job with that. And appreciate all you guys listening in. Appreciate you. You guys keep doing your honey badger stuff.
Thank you, brother. See
you guys.
All right.